pre-order your copy of Football Game Plan's latest book project, The Go-Go Offense by Brennan Marion. Now, Coach Marion is the offensive coordinator at William & Mary and takes you through the ins and outs of the most explosive offense that's lighting up the college football fields and scoreboards in the process. You can pre-order your copy at footballgameplan.com/GoGoOffense. Now, the release of the Go-Go Offense book is August 25th. Welcome to Football Game Plan, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the Playbook. Mike McCarthy is your producer today. It's the summertime and preseason is just around the corner in the NFL, and we'll get you ready for the upcoming 2019 NFL season as we preview the Miami Dolphins. Now, as we kick off the season preview, let us take a look at some of the key storylines heading into the season as we go into our 4-minute offense.
Coming over from the Patriots as their de facto defensive coordinator, Flores now has his first major coaching role. He was a highly respected coach among the New England staff and was thought of as a hard worker and a leader. Rookie head coaches had a combined record of 41-35 in 2018. Now, how will Flores' defense fare in 2019? Two new faces in Miami will duke it out for the #1 quarterback role for the Dolphins this summer. Both passers are coming off rough seasons with their former clubs. In 14 games for the Cardinals last season, Josh Rosen completed only 55% of his passes for 2,278 yards and an 11-14 touchdown to interception ratio. Ryan Fitzpatrick threw for 88 more yards in 6 less games, completed 66% of his passes, but he had some real stinkers in there as well. Fitzpatrick is the favorite to start Week 1, but Rosen may turn out to live up to his top 10 draft pick status. Where will the offense come from in 2019? Miami ranked as the 26th in total offense in 2018 and lost their starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill to the Titans in free agency. Fitzpatrick and Rosen will compete for the starting job, but the team also ranked 30th in passing and 18th in rushing last season. Kenyon Drake will look to step up and be a dual threat as a runner and receiver alongside Kalen Ballage. Pass catchers Devontae Parker, Albert Williams, and Mike Gesicki will look to make themselves easy targets for whoever's a starter under center. Can Xavier Howard step up to lead the defense in 2019? He's now the highest paid corner in the NFL, having signed a 5-year extension worth $75 million. Will his new money make him complacent? Or will the Pro Bowler step up to lead a defense devoid of playmakers? Having lost Cameron Wake and Robert Quinn to Tennessee and Dallas respectively, the lack of pass rush may affect Howard's chances of repeating his 7-interception season from 2018. Safety Minkah Fitzpatrick will look to help Howard in the secondary.
It's time to put this team under the microscope and go position by position to see where they stand as we head into the 2019 season, and we'll start on the offensive side of the ball at the quarterback position. The Miami Dolphins were able to acquire the services of last year's first-round pick Josh Rosen from the Arizona Cardinals via trade during the NFL draft, and Rosen had a tumultuous rookie season in the desert and gets a chance to start anew down in Miami. To me, he's already the best quarterback on this roster and should seize the reins come preseason. The good news for Miami is that they have a capable backup in Ryan Fitzpatrick in case Rosen can't get the job done. But Rosen has talent and will quickly learn how much he was able to learn from his rough experience last season. The Dolphins have some explosiveness in the backfield with both Kenyon Drake and Kalen Ballage. Both guys are quick starters who don't need volume and are valuable assets in the passing game, both short and deep down the field. And they also are apt to do well in blitz pickup. So it wouldn't surprise me to see new offensive coordinator Chad O'Shea figure out ways to get both on the field consistently at the same time. And there's an opening for the RB3 role on this roster, and we'll see if rookie Myles Gaskins out of Washington or free agent signee Mark Walton from Cincinnati can win that role. I actually like what the Dolphins have on the perimeter. Devontae Parker, Kenny Stills, and Jakeem Grant are formidable options out there in the passing game, with the latter two possessing really good speed. The same can be said for Albert Wilson as well, and there's an opportunity for undrafted rookie free agent Preston Williams out of Colorado State to make a serious play for playing time as a rookie within this lineup. He's a big-bodied wideout that can play inside or out. To me, his game is actually similar to that of Devontae Parker. Now, where the Dolphins are underrated is at the tight end position. Last year's second-round pick Mike Gesicki was criminally underutilized last year and figures to play a prominent role in O'Shea's offense. Miami also signed Dwayne Allen and Clyde Wolford in free agency to bolster the depth here at this position. Nick O'Leary, to me, could see an uptick in his opportunities as well. And you can't forget about Durham Smith, who proved his worth last year as a blocker in the running game. Along the offensive line is where you can see some concern. This is a group that has to play significantly better in order for this offense to make major strides this upcoming season. Now, I like Laramie Tunsil, and I feel as though he still has some growth left in his game. The front office did a good job in addressing this unit in free agency as well as in the draft. Bringing in a solid tackle in Jordan Mills helped solidify the bookends for Miami, and drafting both Michael Dieter out of Wisconsin and Isaiah Prince in the draft could provide either immediate help at guard and swing depth at tackle, respectively. The hope is that a healthy Daniel Kilgore can help strengthen them in the middle, and how they handle the guard situation, to me, could ultimately determine how well this group does as a whole. Here's how I graded out the Miami Dolphins offense. Let's take a look at the Dolphins defense. Starting up front and adding Christian Wilkins in the draft helped solve a major need along the defensive line. The Dolphins were 31st against the run last year, giving up over 145 yards a game, and a former Clemson Tiger can not only help shrink that number, but also add to the Fins' sack total as well, as Miami finished ranked 29th in the league in sacks and will have to get a ton of production from former first-round pick Charles Harris. The former Missouri Tiger product will be looked upon to fill the void left by both Robert Quinn and Cam Wake. Now, on the opposite side, Jonathan Woodard was an excellent prospect to me coming out of Central Arkansas, and he now gets his opportunity to be the starter and serve in a similar role with Miami. Now, with the new coaching staff in place, there will be a ton of opportunities for both rookies and undrafted free agents, as well as recent free agent signees from the now defunct Alliance of American Football League to make an impact on this roster. At the second level is where there is some promise for Miami. I'm a big fan of Jerome Baker and what he brings to the table. He's got very good acceleration and a solid in pass coverage. Kiko Alonso has been one of the more dependable backers on the roster, and Raekwon McMillan, who is entering his third year, should continue to grow his game with the Fins. He finished second on the team in tackles behind Alonso. Keep an eye on undrafted rookie free agent Trey Watson and free agent signee Tyrone Holmes, as well as rookie fifth-round pick Andrew Van Ginkel, as all guys have unique skills. Watson is in coverage and a latitude in their ability to get after the quarterback. Look for those guys, all three of them, to find their way in the rotation while also thriving on special teams. Miami's secondary was a beacon of hope last season. Xavier Howard and Minkah Fitzpatrick are bona fide stars on the back end. Howard made the Pro Bowl last year, and Fitzpatrick will definitely earn a berth in the near future. He's their most versatile defender, in my opinion. The Fins get back Cordrea Tankersley from an ACL injury and sign Eric Rowe from the New England Patriots in free agency. I think Bobby McCain is one of the more scrappy defenders that they have on the roster, and it will be interesting to see how TJ McDonald does this season as he's back and figures to hold on to his starting safety spot. And here's how I graded out the Miami Dolphins defense. I like the tight end depth for Miami this year. They bring in Nick O'Leary. They also bring in Dwayne Allen. They still have Mike Gesicki, who was vastly underutilized last year as a rookie. And they have two really good tailbacks in Kalen Ballage out of Arizona State, second-year player, and Kenyon Drake out of Alabama. And I'm going to show you how putting all those guys on the field at the same time in the red zone could yield a big play for their quarterback, their future franchise quarterback, Josh Rosen. Here's what we're talking about. Again, this is Josh Rosen. It's not Ryan Fitzpatrick. So let's just call it what it is. He's better than Ryan Fitzpatrick. He should be a starter, and he should have success. So now that that is out the window, we're going to put Nick O'Leary right here as a flank position, and we're going to put Dwayne Allen on the offensive line. And we're going to try to create an opportunity for a nice little pop pass to free up Dwayne Allen here over the middle of the field. And the way we do that is by influencing these backers, getting these guys out of the way, because you have two backs in the backfield. When defensive personnel sees three tight ends on the field and two backs, they instantly think run. You'd be crazy not to. And when you walk out Mike Gesicki here out wide, if they put a corner on him, throw to Mike Gesicki. Abandon the play call, go to Gesicki, because that's the mismatch. But let's say they walk a safety out, now you have two corners playing pseudo safeties in this particular formation. So what we're going to try to do is get these guys out the way, hold him at bay by running a takeoff with Gesicki. Hopefully he can get good double coverage, and now we freed up the middle of the field because we're going to have nice cross-buck action here with the backs. We're going to send Kalen Ballage first to help out blocking. We're going to then send Kenyon Drake out there, check first, then release in the flat outlet pass for Josh Rosen. What we're going to do right here with number 89, that's Dwayne Allen, we're going to have him go up and sort of get a chip on that defensive end, and then work right behind these linebackers, and there's your pop pass. After the play fake here, this guy should be open. If not, and you have some time, you want to have O'Leary go up on that backer, get a good chip, work, and then work to the corner. Hopefully taking this corner away as well as this safety, putting him in the bind, because someone's going to have to cover the flat. You have one-on-one with the corner with the tight end that can go up and grab it. But ideally, this is what we want to try to get the pop pass over the middle of the field. Cross buck action, utilizing 3 tight ends that the Miami Dolphins have, could put their offense in a great situation inside the red zone. I've always been a big fan of Jonathan Woodard's game out of Central Arkansas. You know, we cover a lot of FCS football here at Football Gameplan, so very familiar with his game and what he brings to the table. And what I like about his game is that he has the length and he plays with length. And I'm gonna show you how that is very disruptive against the run because of what he can do as your starting defensive end. Showing you what I'm talking about here, Charles Harris on the strong side along with their rookie from Clemson, Christian Wilkins, along with Gottschall. And we're gonna put Jonathan Woodard here on the opposite side. And let's say they want to run to the outside. What the back is looking for is the cutback. And if you have an over-aggressive defensive end that's going to fly up and then try to scrape, then it's a problem. But Miami has a defensive end in Woodard that has great length. And you can also utilize a little bit of a gap exchange to where you can protect yourself on the backside by allowing him to be aggressive. Let's say even if you have a safety here to fill and take advantage of the C gap, and allowing him to be aggressive, then you have this linebacker freely ready to flow to the football. So stopping the outside run and preventing the cutback, you want to just take all that length and just crash him right inside, because what's going to happen is going to force these guys, he's going to beat him across his face. He's also quick, and that length allows him to split those 2 linemen and try to make a play or disrupt the timing of the outside zone for the running back and make things very difficult. If he gets him to stop his feet here, the play is dead in the water. Speaking from experience, the worst thing that can happen for you as a running back is stopping your feet right here. You can stop it here and then find your way, but if you stop it back here, you're pretty much dead in the water. Get back in the huddle, get ready for the next play. So he has the length and explosiveness and quickness to really disrupt this run by just crossing the face of that tackle and jumping inside. Because what's going to happen, you can have your Gottschall does a great job of playing outside shade of the center, or he can cross face here. They can shoot those gaps here and allow those backers to be free flowing to the football or bouncing over top. Or if you really want to be disruptive and screw up a running back's day, again, speaking from experience, have these guys all work inside. Boom, boom, he goes here. Now you really clog up the inside lane and you have good gap exchange here by the backers. You want this guy to take this gap, him flowing around taking this gap, and he's the guy that's a scrape guy that can come around and make a play, because again, you have aggressive safety that's helping you out on the backside. So I think because of the length of Jonathan Woodard and what he provides as a talent at defensive end, it could help the Miami Dolphins be much better versus the run this upcoming season.
A lot of people are picking the Dolphins to be possibly the worst team in the NFL from a win-loss standpoint. I think what they're doing is they're just clearing the deck to try to make a new. And it doesn't lend a lot to fantasy football, but I actually think they have a little bit to them. Quarterback position is one you want to stay away from. You either have a young quarterback with some talent and Josh Rosen, or you have a guy who's a journeyman at this point in Ryan Fitzpatrick, so you stay away from that. A running back position, though, considering the new head coach, you might want to pursue that. If you can't get Kenyon Drake because his draft position's a little too strong for your taste, not having seen him carry the bulk of the load, watch out for Kalen Ballage. He's someone that you can grab in the double-digit rounds, probably around 10 or 11, that could end up being a starter later on in the season, or at least give you some value. He can catch the ball in the backfield as well. The receiver position, they actually have guys who are talented, but again, with the quarterback position not exactly being what you need it to be, this is also a position where you don't attack any of these receivers till the double-digit rounds. Rounds 10, 11, 12. That's when you want to look at guys like a Kenny Stills, who has deep threat ability. You want to look at a guy like Devontae Parker, who's never really panned out, but he can be a fill-in guy if you need it. Or Albert Wilson, who's probably the best fantasy option as far as big playability on this roster at the receiver position. And then Mike Gesicki. We don't know what the new regime's going to bring. Gesicki's not the type of receiver that they had at the tight end position in New England. So with the new regime there, we don't know how they're going to use him. Is he going to be often flexed? Are they going to try to play him in line where that's not his strong suit? We don't know. So the Dolphins are probably a team you want to steer away from except for the running back position. Remember, Drake is slotted at the number 1 position on their roster, but he might be a little bit too rich for some of y'all's blood. I wouldn't take him till about the 6th round or so. You can get Kalen Ballage in the double-digit round and probably get similar production, just considering they're going to run the ball quite a bit.
Troy Anthony here, bringing you the best bets for the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins' win line right now is sitting at 5 games. At -110, I like the over 5 games here. They brought in new head coach Brian Flores from New England and quarterback coach Jim Caldwell to work with Josh Rosen. They have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball, and this should equate to more wins. That's all for now. I'm Troy Anthony. Follow me on Twitter @FootballFandom, replacing the O's with zeros.
I think the biggest training camp surprise will be how good all of the signings from the Alliance of American Football League will look in camp. These guys are more in football shape than many of their counterparts, having played as recently as March and early April. Many of the signings, Joey Mabu, Jamar Summers, Tyrone Holmes, Nate Orchard, Reese Horn, Jaron Elliott, and Kenneth Farrow are also at positions of need for the Dolphins. So it'll be fun to watch these guys get out there and not only compete, but also earn jobs. The on-the-field product from the AAF was a good one in my opinion, and these players will be great evidence of that. Emery Hunt, the czar of the Playbook here. Joining me now is fellow football game plan analyst Troy Anthony for this 4 Downs with the Czar segment, continuing our preview of the 2019 Miami Dolphins as we take a look at the road to the Super Bowl for the Dolphins. One of the biggest and more underrated signings for the Miami Dolphins. It wasn't Josh Rosen the trade in the draft. It was bringing in Jim Caldwell, the quarterback's coach, the OC, for this offense. And when you look at Caldwell and what he can do for Josh Rosen, if he could help him take significant strides in year 2, I think it's going to help this team be better. And here's the thing. I look at Rosen's rookie year like I look at DeShone Kizer's rookie year in Cleveland. You saw talent, but the interceptions were really high, especially in critical situations. If he can cut down on those interceptions, protect the football, Caldwell does a great job with quarterbacks. He had Matt Stafford playing his best football in Detroit. Efficiency is going to be key. There are some weapons around there for Rosen to be successful this year in his 2nd season as an NFL starter, but Caldwell and how he's able to get Rosen up to speed could be the difference in his Dolphins team, making some noise in the division.
First, we're gonna have to see if Rosen wins that job from.
If you think Fitzpatrick is gonna win that job,
well, we gotta see. But what I'm gonna need from that Miami Dolphins offense is more consistency from all of the skill positions. We had Frank Gore last year rush for 722 when you have Kenyon Drake there, and I would love to see what the Kenyon Ballage can do this upcoming season. I think he's gonna be nice. But you also had their best wide receiver only catch for 575, and that was Amendola. I'm going to need a lot more from everybody across that board if the Dolphins are going to be able to do anything this season.
Well, they got talent. I mean, maybe
they
this year
they have talent. I know they have talent.
If they could figure out how to use Mike Gesicki this year, Jakeem Grant. That I felt like Gesicki just wasted his rookie season under Adam Gase, and now they have that added bonus of this could be his rookie season once again. And so we'll see. I think defensively it's about them stopping the run. Everyone ran up and down the field against the Miami Dolphins. If they can't stop the run this year, they're going to have problems. And I think if they're going to make sure to be a really good defense, you talk about the defenses in this division. The Jets got better defensively. The Bills probably have the best defense pound for pound in the division. The Patriots seem to be schematically the better defense. The Dolphins have to be able to join that party and stop the run. I love the secondary. They can take the ball away. They can match up across the board with their corners and safeties. They're very versatile on the back end, but the front end has to start helping them out by stopping the run. If they can do that, then those guys on the back end can do their jobs.
One thing I love about the Dolphins this season is their new head coach, Brian Flores. Stealing them away from the Patriots, he needs to come in and change that mentality in that room. He needs to start teaching them how to win and not just play in games. You know that they can play in games but can't get the job done. Look at how they beat the Patriots on that miracle lateral play last year. They can do it, but they don't do it consistently enough. I need him to come in and change everybody's attitude.
And we talk about road to the Super Bowl, but to me the biggest key would be going back to those throwback jerseys. If they do that, they definitely will be playing in February. The Miami Dolphins, I think, are building in the right direction. I have the Dolphins finishing 4th in the AFC East. Just too many new faces on both sides of the ball for me to feel comfortable pushing them up in the rankings within this division. I will say this, their defense will be much better this year, especially within the front four. I think they'll be able to find ways to get pressure. Offensively, Josh Rosen, I think, will take the next step and look like what we saw Jared Goff look like in his second season. I know that's popular to say, but I do feel as though Josh Rosen will be what they've been looking for quite some time down there in Miami. So year one under Brian Flores won't be as successful as maybe year 2 and 3, but the sky is definitely looking brighter down in South Beach. So that's it for this season preview. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the Playbook. Be sure to follow me on all of our social media accounts, and don't forget to check out and subscribe to Football Game Plan Podcast on iTunes, where you can find our NFL All 32 podcast, our fantasy football starting lineup, as well as our Scout Team podcast, and leave us a 5-star rating. Also subscribe to the Football Game Plan Network, located at youtube.com/Football Game Plan. Finally, every Thursday and Friday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, be sure to check out the Football Game Plan show on the Game Plus Network. Check with your cable provider for channel listings.